one other musician,
Yeah.
and I went with Jake Stargell accompanied me. I played mandolin and he played guitar, so that was wild. That was a wild experience too. And I mean, there's some really famous songwriters that win that,
Sure.
and so it was kind of a prestigious award. I feel to be included in that group of songwriters.
Yeah. What was it like getting to play there on that? I think they do it on the cabin stage right there, kind of in front of the large group of folks, or do you play it somewhere else originally?
I think it was I don't think it was a cabin stage. It was inside. I don't remember to be specific right at this moment. But, like Brian Sutton's there and Michael Cleveland, and they're accompanying some other people that might be playing or just watching or something. And so it's a little nerve-wracking because I feel more comfortable playing with the whole band, surrounding me than just me and by myself or one other person. Yeah. But it was a truly great experience. And I think it was Jim Lauderdale that hosted it.
Yeah.
So you get to meet him, you get to talk to him, so you're kind of just rubbing elbows and shoulders with some people that, songwriters I've always admired. So that was very cool.
So you went back to the studio and back again with Jim, and so now the new record, Moonshiner's Daughter, is out. Tell me about that a little bit.
Well, it was not going to be Moonshiner's Daughter. I wrote a song called This Old Man, which I love, and is on the CD. And I thought for sure This Old Man is going to be the title cut. And this is one of my story songs. And I'll tell you a little story about this old man, and then we could talk about Moonshiner's Daughter a little bit. But my father gave me a newspaper, the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette, back in 1999. And on the full page, black and white, newspaper was a black and white picture of a man named Marlon Miller, and on the top of the paper in big bold letters it said "This Old Man," and he was dressed in his finest clothes, which if you look real close in the picture, you can see that he actually hand sewn them himself. He had what looked like a homemade bow and arrow, and I looked at that picture and said, "Wow, this looks really interesting." In 1999. And I put it away, and I moved it around my house, and I moved, and I still found it, and then I would move it around my house again, and I did that for 16 years. Wow. I kept finding that newspaper article, and finally, in 2016, I pulled it out, and it reminded me of my dad. My dad's been gone for 10 years now, God rest his soul. And I said, I'm going to read this, finally, because my dad gave it to me, and it looks interesting. And so it was a super interesting article to me about a man who lived like a hermit, basically. He had no running water, no electricity. This is just 30 miles outside of Pittsburgh back in, the 80s, the 90s. And he scared people off of his property with his shotgun. He lived there with his dog Skeeter. And he had a few people that he would leave on his property, and one of them was a photographer named John Beale, who was allowed to photograph him, and I believe did photograph him for about 20 years. And so the photographs in the newspaper were spectacular. And it was just, I thought I have to write a song about Marlon. So to learn more about Marlon, I guess you have to get the CD, and you have to hear the song.
Yeah, okay.
It tells all about Marlon and his crazy escapades and how his life finally ended. But I did get to meet, I haven't met him yet, but I've been in contact with John Beale, the photographer, and he gave me permission to use one of the photographs of Marlon inside the Moonshiner's Daughter CD packet, which is a fabulous, fabulous photograph. And nothing about it is contrived. I mean, it's all real, which makes it, really moving to me as a songwriter. So I was so in love with that song that then I'm still writing for the CD. And so I write this song, Moonshiner's Daughter, and I present it to Jim, and he's like, this is the song. And I think I knew that, too, whenever I wrote it. And it's about a girl named Sloane Payne. It's just kind of a name. I can't remember if I heard it somewhere or I actually made it up, but who's the moonshiner's daughter and her dark life of kind of having to guard the whiskey still. So I come to find out when I was writing that song that the hills here in southwestern Pennsylvania have a very rich moonshining history, and I thought as I was writing the song that, maybe I should shift the song to not be about Sloane Payne, but Bill Pritz, who was one of the most notorious moonshiners that the country ever knew. He eluded the revenuers for like 20 years or something, and he was his descendants still live in this area, and I got to meet them. And I never did write a song about Bill, but I probably will at some point. But we did do a video also for the Moonshiner's Daughter song, and I got the still from the Pritz family, so maybe better not tell anybody that.
Oh, really? That's cool.
but yeah, so that's just so cool. So I get to meet people like that, and I get to make friends through my music. So, so that's a little side story about the Moonshiner's Daughter song anyway, but it did really turn out to be one of the outstanding cuts on the CD, just the instrumentation, through all the musicians. I call it Appalachian angst, that particular song, because it's a dark story. The music is modern, to me, like modern bluegrass, but it still has that Appalachian sound and feel to it, especially like with Rob Ickes on the dobro. So it's just, we recorded it over a year ago, and I just got the final masters not that long ago, but I still am not tired of listening to it.
That's cool. And is it? When's the release date, or is it officially out?
It's going to be in July.
Okay.
I'm thinking it might be the 16th, but that could change, and I'm looking to Claire for all of that.
Yeah.
But it's going to be in July, definitely. It'll be available on Airplay Direct to all the radio DJs,
sure.
and then it will be you can download it, from CD Baby or my website, Cindy G Bluegrass, and we're going to release that as a single, and then we'll pick another single, and then the whole CD will come out probably in September sometime.
Okay. Well, it's certainly you make me want to listen to it.
Oh, good.
So, and I read somewhere in the notes that one of the things that folks have praised you for is your storytelling, and certainly that has shined through here, and definitely in this last bit when you've been talking about the songs, you have this way of you want to go hear the song so you can hear the rest of the story. So
thank you.
So I appreciate that, and that to me makes the song even more interesting, because it's you tell half the story and you sing the other half, kind of feeling, So that's cool.
Yeah, and I don't know. I mean, I do feel like I have a knack for story songs. I don't know why. Sometimes it makes the songs a little too long, maybe 4 minute, almost 5 minute songs. But it's hard to say everything you want to say in 3 minutes or under. So I did some of the more fun songs, or your 3 minute songs. But it's all fun. It's all good to me.
Yeah. Cool. Well, if folks want to get in touch with you, they want to make arrangements to pre-order the CD, what's the best way to track you down?
Cindy G Bluegrass, CINDY for Gata, bluegrass.com. And I also have I'm Cindy G everywhere on the internet, on CD Baby, on Facebook, Cindy G Bluegrass. I'm actually Cindy G Bluegrass on Facebook. So that's probably the best way.
All right. Moonshiner's Daughter is out later this month, and so we definitely look forward to that. Thanks, Cindy. Appreciate it. Enjoy getting a chance to hear more about your story.
Well, it was my pleasure. Thank you, Greg.
Thanks again for tuning in to this episode of Americana Music Profiles. Find us on iTunes at Americana Music Profiles and on the internet at AmericanaRhythm.com.